In our time here thus far in Edinburgh, from our walks to class to our experiences as new locals, we have noticed how important nature and being environmentally conscious is to the community here. On our walk to class, we walked by the Parliament building, which was designed by Enrique Morales, who wanted the building to be symbolic and eco-friendly and showing how important it is for all of Scotland, but especially Edinburgh, to focus on being environmentally conscious. He did this by choosing the location of the building and having it closer to hubs of public transportation and having the electricity for the building come from renewable sources and solar panels.
The Edinburgh Council has received 53,862 complaints in a year regarding litter in the city, an average of 1 complaint every 10 minutes. This obvious concern has launched an anti-litter campaign coined Our Edinburgh. The trash bin seen here is one of the many techniques used in this campaign to keep Edinburgh clean, especially during festival time. If you look closely, you will find the hashtag #OurEdinburgh written on the bin in hopes of spreading awareness towards this movement.
Every day we pass large bins that the city provides for members of the community to recycle glass, plastic, and food waste. My single story of this man is that he cares for the environment because he is bringing this bag filled with recyclables without directly benefiting himself. He gains nothing from bringing these bottles here to recycle them, unlike where in the States, some people can receive money for their plastic or glass bottles.
As you walk around Edinburgh, you can see the various forms of transportation offered, whether it is the bus, walking, or biking. When first observing this, I automatically othered the individuals that didn't drive their own car automatically, putting them in categories of being environmentally friendly or not able to afford a car. But what I soon realized after interviewing locals is that the government helps set it up for locals where it is actually cheaper and even more time efficient when using the alternative transportation options instead of a car.
Because, well, partly for the fitness side of things, partly because it's very expensive to park, and partly because the environmental side of things, I quite like it, but that's why they've made it so expensive to park, so that you don't take your car in. When it's absolutely pouring with rain, sometimes I do take the car in, because I just can't be bothered sitting soaking wet for that length of time. But yeah, it's all of it, I think, and also because my route from my flat to here is mostly through the park, so it's not on the road. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people cycle to work, and a lot of people, there are government schemes to help you buy a bike to use to cycle to work, so that you can get like a bike up to about £1,000. You get your tax that you've paid already, I think, back on it, so that it takes the price down. You can take it down by about 40%.
Okay, so like the government does that to make it more of an incentive
to cycle to work, but so it has to be done through your workplace though. But it depends on the contract you've got whether you can get that or not. But no, so there's a lot of people. I've got lots of friends that cycle to work, and also because the traffic in Edinburgh, like everywhere else around the world, is getting worse and worse and worse. So that actually it's quicker, depending on where you're going. It's actually quicker to get there by bike than it is. It's way quicker for me to cycle here than it is to drive. If I drive, it's at least 12-13 minutes. If I cycle, I can get here if I'm absolutely hammering it in 6 minutes. So
quite impressive.
Advertisements like these are used across the city of Edinburgh to make members of the community, as well as those visiting, more conscious about their environmental impact, and essentially are an effort to reframe the way that people view their everyday actions. This advertisement is found on campus here at the University of Edinburgh and aims to encourage students to reduce their waste by offering discounted coffee prices when students use a reusable mug.
The plugs here in Scotland have a switch on them, which allows the capability to turn the power on and off when you want to use them and when you do not. This saves energy and in turn reduces the emissions that are produced by power plants. The harmful emissions that come from power plants include carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxides, among others. Carbon dioxide, being a greenhouse gas, is a big contributor to global warming, increased sea levels, smog, acid rain, and unusual weather patterns, which greatly hurt the environment over time.
Most of the toilets around Edinburgh, with the exception of a few, use a dual flushing system. The system gives options to use more or less water when necessary to flush. A similar dual flushing system can be seen in some places around the United States, including some of the newer buildings at JMU. When doing research, we found that 33% of all the water used here in Scotland can be attributed to flushing toilets. Though the difference may seem small in hindsight, it adds up in the end.
Many buildings we've gone into, it is common for them to use motion-sensor lights. Like many others, I find it easy to forget about turning a switch off when leaving a room.
Almost always. For my kids, automatic lights would be brilliant.
So you would say that a good amount of people forget?
Yes.
All throughout Edinburgh, there's an added charge for plastic bags. This charge was imposed in 2014 to encourage shoppers to bring their own reusable bags and reduce plastic production. Since this charge has been implemented in Scotland, plastic bag usage has gone down by 80%.
Yes and no. In itself, no it doesn't, in the sense that the charge doesn't, because it's 5p a bag or something like that. But what it did do, and has done to everybody, is change the mindset. It just makes people far more aware of the fact you're using bags. So generally, people take bags. I certainly do, generally, if I remember. But sometimes you're out and you don't have a bag with you, so whatever. So you go and you just buy bags. It's not a big deal. But strangely, and because they introduced it in Ireland before they introduced it in Britain, I think, in Southern Ireland, and it was there recorded as the only popular tax. It's one of the few popular taxes that's been brought in Britain as well, where people go, yes, charge us more tax the bags, that's a great idea. And it's certainly reduced bag use, and people are way more aware of that sort of thing. So I think it works brilliantly, actually. Because it's not such a big deal. Like, if you need to buy bags, it's not stopping people from buying bags if they need them. But it just makes you think, and it's succeeded in changing the culture, which is great.
The use of plastic.
Do they give out brown paper bags?
I believe so, yes.
Right, so they're okay with that. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, that's all right, I think. Although I would say that I'm not suggesting you never get that. There's never rain in California, but brown paper bags with the level of rain you occasionally get here might be slightly weaker and more inclined to break. But I suspect that it won't go any further than it's going currently here, just because of convenience and various other things. But it only takes movement to start groundswell of opinion saying, well, these bags are hanging around for centuries, they just don't biodegrade. Someone's there are biodegradable carrier bags anyway. So that I think, biodegradable plastic bags, or some form of biodegradable plastic hybrid thing, whatever that is, I think might work. But I don't think the banning of bags, I don't know, but I've not heard any whispers at all that anyone thinks that should be the case. It feels like the tax has changed the culture sufficiently that it's kind of okay, I think.
Research shown here in this graph proves that the efforts made by not only the city of Edinburgh but Scotland as a whole has made an impact on the environment. Since hitting its height of their emissions output in 2007, there has been a steady decline, showing the success of their various environmental efforts.
The success of Edinburgh's environmental efforts has not gone unnoticed. The city was awarded for excellence in waste management and recycling just last year.